Welcome back to the Blue Review. All right, CY, on Tuesday, Evan Phillips got the very first save of the Dodgers season. That's not going to be a normal thing for him. That's not his role. He's that fireman role that they love so much. Are you a closer by committee guy that they're going to be doing?
I don't have a problem with it. I think that a lot of old school baseball heads are very into the idea of it's just not possible to be able to get into the mindset of doing it unless you're doing it all the time. And while I agree that that's true for some guys, if you have a scouting department that knows you don't have one guy, I don't believe in forcing one guy to do it. Now, Reyes and Hudson being on on the IL is a real issue. Like those are two guys that I would take a choice between. But look, the way that matchups work in baseball these days, the way the specialization works, there's going to be situations where some guys are going to be better than others. And in the modern game, it's not that I feel that closer is an outdated position, not at all. I just feel that sort of like center in the NBA, there's a lot less guys that can do it that old school way where you're the guy in the ninth and you're the only one that does it and you're the one that everybody depends on. This is not your father's relief pitcher in terms of that type of a role. And so if the way that your personnel lines up just doesn't allow you to have that one shutdown guy, then that's what you've got to do. Dave said at the beginning of the season, we're just going to stick with guys who have done it before. This is not something new in terms of strategy for him or really any team.
Yeah, so you're right, and you brought up Daniel Hudson, and he's supposed to be back towards the end of April. Although it wasn't a setback that they were calling it, but he's not quite ready to come back yet. But he's basically the guy that will eventually get probably the most of those save opportunities, although not all of them. I'm with you though. I don't think that this is modern baseball anymore. This is how it works. It goes a lot by analytics. It's how Andrew Friedman works. He wants to make sure that the right guy is in there at the right time. So it doesn't matter if it may be Evan Phillips. If you're getting the heart of the lineup, if you're getting 3, 4, 5, and he thinks that Evan Phillips is the right guy to go out there for the ninth inning, then that's what it's going to be. They're going to set it up and they're going to go inning by inning. And I'm totally fine with that because that's the way that it is. I think we do have this nostalgia factor of like, oh, Eric Gagne and his 84 saves in a row that we were talking about. Mariano Rivera and his cutter. How great was that, right? But it's just not something that I think that they do anymore. And I don't think that's what the Dodgers are going to do. And I don't think they need to either.
And don't get me wrong. It's harder to do. It's more of a matchup. You have to press more buttons. Absolutely. Because like you said, it depends on who's doing what, whether or not you want to go for certain different things on other sides of the plate. Yeah. But that doesn't preclude it from being more effective. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what you're there to do. The idea that, well, I got a guy, we can shut it down. Let's be honest. How many guys have dudes that are any good at that anyway? There's Hader. There's my man, Devin Williams, who I think of who's not even a closer yet necessarily. But for the most part, there's not a lot of dudes that have that kind of stuff in terms of being able to face anybody at any given time in the ninth. And there's no reason to force it if you don't have to.
And it's the day in and day out portion of it too, right? Yeah. There are only a couple of guys. Hader, I think, is one of them. And he was not that great last year.
No,
he was really bad. That's why Milwaukee moved him to San Diego, because they thought Devin Williams, your boy, was going to be the guy to do it. And the airbender is pretty nasty, dude.
That's about as good as it gets. You know what I'm saying? He when I think of a closer, I think of him. To be honest, he's got untouched stuff, sort of no matter who it comes from, but he doesn't play for the Dodgers. You know what I'm saying? That's a different discussion. If they had Devin, but they don't. And so until that happens, there's no need to act as if there's something wrong with the roster just because it doesn't look like a team from 1988.
Yeah, so I think I like what you just said there, by the way. I like that you said until that happens, because look, that might happen in this Dodger season. Somebody might come out and be like, I'm that guy. It could, it could be Brusdar Gratterall, who I don't think that's who it's going to be, but it could be a guy like that.
4 saves already this season? What is he up to now?
No, he doesn't have any this season. They have one save on the season.
He's got one, but how many opportunities has he been in? Sorry.
There's only been one save opportunity this year.
Oh, because
it's only been 6 games.
All right, my bad.
It came on Tuesday, and Evan Phillips had to get it because Phil Bickford came in with a 5-run lead and gave up 2 runs, and then they got so that's why Phillips got that. It was like a de facto save. It wasn't actually a real save.
Okay,
I think eventually, it's okay. I think eventually there's going to be a guy that there could be. It's very well possible that it could be that somebody. I just don't know if they have that guy. And actually, you know what? There might be a second save. I could be wrong. Andre Jackson got a 3-inning save, which is also not really a real save.
No, that's not a real save either. That's just, you talk about old school. That is old school right there. That's Goose Gossip era nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys don't do 3 saves anymore. That's really wild. I do want to bring up one quick thing, but moving on before we go. these fight videos at Dodger Stadium are becoming very concerning. You know, I saw a post that said, oh, it's officially baseball season. Dodgers fans are fighting each other. That's a horrible rep to have. And I'm not implying that this is the reputation that Dodgers fans have all over the major leagues, but for whatever reason, there seemed to be a regular amount of clips that come out of that ballpark, come out of that parking lot, never mind actual incidents. And like, I don't know, man, you know, I know and I love the passion of the Dodgers fan base, but there's something about watching guys in the same fan gear knock each other out, or at least attempt to, that really turns me off. You've got a daughter, you go to the ballpark.
Yeah.
Does this rank on things that you think of before you walk in through the gates?
So, I mean, I've been to numerous baseball games. I've seen yelling. I have never actually seen an actual fight happen near me. I mean, I've seen, like, you know, things being thrown and stuff like that, right, but I've never actually seen the real fighting. I think a lot of times I don't want to say it's too much, but I think it gets over, like, exemplified. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but
no, I get
like,
it. It's not representative of what the actual experience is. Yeah,
it is not. I don't think it is representative of what the actual experiences is, because it happens at every ballpark, first of all. But I think people just get the video camera out and they see it's like, oh, Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, they do happen, but I don't know. I don't think I've never seen anything like it, and I don't. Maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just sitting in. I mean, I've sat all over the park. I'm
right.
Not,
no,
I'm
that's
not
interesting because
I'm in the top.
Right.
You know?
If you don't think it's representative of the real thing, that's almost why it's more annoying that these things keep popping up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like there's this reputation that is not necessarily deserved, but is almost impossible to ignore because, you know, it keeps happening. I wouldn't blame anybody for thinking the Dodger Stadium is a violent place based on the online representation, as unfortunate as that is.
Yeah, no, it is. I just wonder, like, how much we look at it and just say, like, oh, you see a Dodger fan and you think, oh, he's going to, just like Raider fans get a bad rep of being bad fans.
Okay. All right.
I'm a Raider fan.
All right, Raider guy. I get it. All right,
but you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you mean.
I don't know. I'm not big into that world. I think it happens at every single ballpark. And it's not always the Dodger fan that does it. Like, it could be, you know, it's somebody saying something and over and over again until someone finally snaps, which you shouldn't. Right. Nobody should ever snap, especially at a ballpark, but it happens. Yeah. I don't know. I do think it's just a bit much.
All right, man.
All right, buddy.
I'll talk to you later.
That's it for the Blue Review. Talk to you later, CY.
Peace.